Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So I figured I'd bring you guys a bit of an update to the whole Josh Giddey situation, since the previous video did pretty well. It sucks that those are the videos that do well on my channel. You know, like, I would like other videos to do well, but unfortunately, like, talking about these things are like the only way you get fucking views on YouTube these days. But there's been a huge update and a lot of new information to come out about the whole Josh Giddey situation, which really muddies the water a lot, but at the same time also makes it kind of worse for Josh Giddey, because, well, there's a lot of new stuff going out. So originally when I made the first video, I thought Liv Cook, the girl who allegedly is the underage girl that is Josh Giddey's girlfriend, I thought she lived in Oklahoma. And I thought, because Josh Giddey resided in Oklahoma also, that this was just gonna be one of those things. It's like, okay, like, it's kind of awkward. The girl was born in 2008, so she is technically 15. Being that she's a junior in high school, it could just be that she's uber fucking smart and is graduating early, potentially. So there's that. The problem with this whole thing is, though, the legal age of consent in California is 18 years old, and she is 15, I guess. She was born in 2008, so 15, 16 years old. And the NBA is officially launching an investigation into it because of all the photos that came out and stuff like that. Unfortunately, this is not looking good for Josh Giddey. I'm just going to call it what it is. Like, it's not, it looks worse. I'm just going to call it what it is. It looks a lot worse. Originally, when I made the first video, I was like, okay, like, he's kind of got a loophole, you know, like, if she resides in Oklahoma and he resides in Oklahoma, then, you know, age of consent is 16, so I guess, like, it's gonna be what it's gonna be, right? But, I mean, it's just still, the NBA could frown upon that, maybe, I don't know, try to, I don't really know what the NBA could do in a situation like that, but now that it's come out that she's a member of the Newport Harbor High School, which is located in California, she's a member of their volleyball team, and then there's like a whole profile on her now on the internet, like who her father is, how tall she is, you know, where she goes to high school. Now that all this information is out there, it's really, it muddies the water a lot, because it's like, okay, she's a minor in California, but he is an adult in Oklahoma. And the whole thing is, like, if this goes to where I think it's gonna go, he's gonna be tried in the state of California because she is a minor in California. And he would have, I'm assuming, had to have traveled there in order to hang out with her and meet up with her and do whatever he did with her. And I understand the confusion side of it as well. I don't want to act like, you know, he's like a horrible person. He is an Aussie. He's from a different country. Age of consent there is 16. Age of consent in Oklahoma is 16. So there is a real chance here that he simply didn't know. You know, and the other thing here is also, like, I didn't know if, like, maybe, like, this girl's, like, maybe chasing a bag or something. Like, you know, bag chasing in high school is kind of crazy in its own right, but I don't know, man. Like, I'm just not that naive, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think that's necessarily the case. I think this girl, in a way, somehow ended up getting in contact with Josh Giddey, and even the videos that you saw from Josh Giddey talking, you know, the girls, I guess he's talking to her brother or something in these videos or something, saying that, like, hey, I hear you're playing down in Sacramento, we're gonna do our thing, we're gonna pull up, which makes sense now, you know what I'm saying? Like, that part of those videos now makes sense, because, like, Sacramento, but you're in, you know, Oklahoma. Then to find out the girl goes to school in California, now it's kind of like, oh, okay, like, that's why he said that. So, like, I really don't know how to feel about this. Like, I don't want to chastise the guy, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, there's a real possibility he didn't know, but at the same time, it's like I've said in my previous video, like, this is hard to come back from, okay? Like, he would have been better off fucking killing somebody. Like, in situations like this, dog, like, you would have been better off killing somebody. And Obviously, he's an NBA player. They're probably going to give him a slap on the wrist regardless because celebrities get that type of treatment. Professional athletes usually get that type of treatment unless you do some crazy shit like Henry Ruggs did and run somebody over with a fucking car while you're intoxicated at, 120 miles an hour. But it's just the idea, man. Like, I have a feeling like Josh Giddey might get like probation or community service or something like that just because he's an NBA player. But if the state of California doesn't, depending on how harsh the punishment is, Josh Giddey's obviously going to need a really good lawyer. But the NBA investigating this and Oklahoma City is going to be involved in it as well, like the Oklahoma City Thunder. The NBA Players Association is going to be involved in this. So, like, things are really just not looking good for him at the current point in time. And it sucks because he's actually a good basketball player. Like, he's a solid player. But you know what, man? It just, even her profile says that she's 15. So if she's 15, really? Like, if she's really 15, we haven't figured out an actual birth date yet. But if she's legitimately 15 years old and isn't even 16 yet, regardless of if she resides in Oklahoma or not, he's fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way out of this. And the idea that she resides in California and she's allegedly only 15, it's not good. I'm just gonna call it what it is. Like, it is not good. And I know, like, Oklahoma City Thunder fans were in the comments in the last video saying, you're just a hater and people do this and people do that. Dude, even in states, like certain states, like I live in New York, okay? And like, I think like age of consent is like, I think 18 or it's like 17 with like a parent's permission, and like maximum age difference is like 2 years and shit like that. So like, it's different all over the country, but like, it's mostly something that you get away with in more southern states, okay? Like the northern states, like even the more democratic ones like California, New York, they don't necessarily do that shit. So they're not in that, they're not playing that game. So the idea that this happened in California, it's kind of like, okay, like, I'm not quite sure what's gonna happen here, because, like, it's just the idea, like, as long as he's over the age of 18, he can be tried as an adult, right? And so long as she is below the age of 18, it's still, like, it's very muddy water. I'm just gonna call it what it is. Like, it is very muddy water, and I don't know what's going to happen with the whole thing, but, like, it's just kind of wild to me, like, just to throw this in there, like, it's kind of wild to me that a girl would, like, post the idea that she just, did the dirty with Josh Giddey on Snapchat for everybody to see. Different times we're living in, man, like, really, really different times, because, like, I'm just gonna call it what it is, man, like, that's kind of bold. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of bold. I don't know, like, that takes some balls to do. Like, you really gotta want popularity, I would think, to do some crazy shit like that. Apparently she's a new student at this high school, and like, it's pretty crazy because like, they removed her name from like the volleyball team, I think. Like, if you go to the school's website, her name is not on the volleyball team. So that led me to believe that like, she actually isn't a member of the volleyball team. But then I thought, like, with all the allegations that have come back in the past couple days, they probably removed her name from the volleyball team because they either kicked her off the team or they took her name off the website because they want people to stop calling about her, or to try and like make it so like, yeah, like the school is trying to like disassociate themselves with the Josh Giddey situation going on with her. That's a very real possibility. Schools do that shit a lot. Like, if like something happens outside of school, and like, like, schools try to disassociate themselves from shit like that as much as possible. Actually, really any, public place, even if it's government or, social work, stuff like that, they try to disassociate themselves with shit like that all the time. But it doesn't look any better. I'm just gonna call it what it is. Like, in the past couple hours, the situation has done nothing but gotten worse. And if she really resides in California and she really is like only 15 years old, and like age of consent in California is 18, like I'm just gonna Google this real quick just to make sure that I'm accurate with this. Age of consent, because I'm pretty in California. Age of consent in California is 18 years old. So Google says, and this is from the law office of George Goodlin or whatever, what is the age of consent in California? The age of consent in California is 18 years old. This means that anyone under the age of 18 is considered a minor and cannot legally consent to sexual activity. If someone engages in sexual activity with a minor under the age of 18, they could be charged with statutory rape. So, yeah. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm just going to leave it there. We'll see what happens as the situation develops. I have a feeling that in the next, it sucks. I have a regional qualifier tomorrow for APA League, for the pool league that I'm in. And I have a feeling this is going to break while I'm there, that like the NBA discovered all the shit they needed to discover. And they will probably suspend, like if Josh Giddey ends up being guilty of this, like just for, hypothetical purposes, if Josh Giddey is in fact convicted, or like if they find out like this shit is true, I don't want to say convicted of it because we're not there yet, because these are merely allegations at the current point in time, but it's just the idea, if the NBA finds out that all of this shit is actually true, it's not going to be good. I have a feeling they will start with a suspension, right? Like they'll suspend him for probably the rest of the season, or Oklahoma City might, or for all I know, Oklahoma City could waive him. I don't know, because the fact of the matter is, like, they're probably not going to let him play so long as this is going on and they find the information to be true, because I'm just going to be honest, if you're Josh Giddey, you probably don't want to be going to Oklahoma City Thunder games with a bunch of people there that know what you did. And I'm assuming the Thunder are going to do what they can do to try to keep him out of the public spotlight. So, yeah, maybe I understand the Chet Holmgren removing of the pictures a little more now, but it just... Yeah, I don't have much more to say about this. It's bad. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. I like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. I'm the Fast Break Report, and out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.